family prays for safe childbirth. There are about 2 million Hindus living in the United States, and many of them are not comfortable with the way their sacred traditions have been appropriated by American popular culture.
We want credit where it is due.
Swaminathan Venkatraman is a board member of the Hindu American Foundation.
Our major concern is that the roots of the practice need to be acknowledged, and we believe in today's modern yoga movement in the US, there is sometimes even a conscious effort to de-link yoga from Hinduism.
And be a force that is uplifting.
While Hindu ideas like karma, guru, and avatar are widely accepted, Hinduism itself is often disrespected.
Sometimes we have, the goddess Lakshmi sitting on Burger King ad, sitting on a burger. We've seen pictures of Ganesh plastered on toilet seats. They think it's cute.
Many faithful Hindus were offended by this news magazine cover depicting President Barack Obama in the pose of the god Shiva performing the cosmic dance. The Hindu American Foundation is pressuring the news media and school book publishers to change their depictions of Hinduism. Someday, they hope, Americans will learn that yoga means more than just a way of looking good in a pair of jeans.
Now stretch the thighs back.
Rob Reynolds, Al Jazeera, Berkeley, California.
And let me just remind you very quickly that you can keep up to date with all the news around the world 24 hours a day by visiting our website. You'll find it at aljazeera.net/English.
If you're a Nokia user, you can download Al Jazeera's news widget from Nokia's Ovies store. The news widget, available on compatible Nokia devices, gives users quick and easy access to real-time news updates from Al Jazeera English. See the world in real time. Al Jazeera Mobile.
14 competing teams, 13 different venues, 3 host nations. Cricket is part of the fabric of life here, and this competition is the pinnacle of the one-day game. We'll be bringing you all the action and reaction from India, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. The Cricket World Cup on Al Jazeera.
On the next Riz Khan show, is there rising Islamophobia in the US? We examine controversial hearings in Congress about the so-called radicalization of American Muslims. Riz Khan at this time on Al Jazeera.
Mental disorders affect millions of Chinese citizens. But with a chronic lack of support, is this a social time bomb threatening to leave victims and broken families in its wake? 101 East at this time on Al Jazeera.
A new world driven by new media.
This is a very peculiar moment in media history.
Analyzing the media's role in shaping modern history. The Listening Post at this time on Al Jazeera.
The fight for control in Libya. Gaddafi's forces bombard the rebels from land and air. We'll have all the latest from Libya coming up. Hello and welcome to Al Jazeera, live from Doha. I'm Taimur Nabili. Our other top stories. The disputed president of Côte d'Ivoire has told the nation's cocoa producers to start exporting again or pay the price. And an Al Jazeera exclusive from Myanmar. Children as young as 4 years old working in the country's ruby mines. And performing contortions in a yoga class in California. But Hindus in the US are now sounding their alarm over traditions being changed by American culture. Now, the heavy fighting is continuing in Libya between the pro- and anti-Gaddafi forces who've been trying to claim and reclaim territory over the past few days. The determined battle has seen oil output plunging in the country. In the oil hub of Ras Lanuf, forces loyal to Gaddafi bombed the oil installations, including a pipeline and a storage facility. Meanwhile, in AlJazeera, rebels say they have retaken control of the city. This after state TV broadcast these pictures, saying that they were pro-Gaddafi forces celebrating capturing the city. While the heavy bombardment is continuing from the air and on the front line on Wednesday, we saw some of the fiercest fighting yet, with reports of dozens of people killed. In the northern coastal city of Bin Jawad, rebels weren't able to hold off the Libyan troops. They've been pushed back by a heavy attack from the sea. Let's join our correspondent on the ground there, Jackie Rowland, who has been in very close to the front line, Jackie, and seeing and shooting some of the pictures we've just been showing there. Tell us a little bit about your day and what's going on over there.
What we appear to be seeing now is a very concerted effort by the pro-Gaddafi forces to prevent the rebels from advancing any further west in the direction of Gaddafi's hometown of Sirte. And on top of that, we're also seeing very determined efforts by them to try to retake some of the territory gained by the rebels over the last couple of weeks. We've seen a huge use of Air Force planes, bombers, which have not just come in for the occasional airstrike, as been the case in recent days, but have circled overhead for sustained periods of time of an hour or more, dropping bombs, and apparently dropping bombs with more accuracy, because there had been some questions raised about why on previous occasions bombs were dropping short or falling long of their target. We saw about 4 bombs landing within the perimeter fence of the oil facility at the port of Sidra, something which really made you question the tactics of Gaddafi forces bombing such a strategic installation. Anyway, we were able to observe the events around the port of Sidra at a very close distance.
The attack comes from the sky. Pro-Gaddafi forces unleash a savage counter-offensive against the town of Ras Lanuf. Rebel fighters on the ground are sitting targets. They're vulnerable and they know it. Gaddafi's bombers have hit an oil storage depot about 10 kilometers to the west. Even from Ras Lanuf, the damage is tangible. We want to take a closer look, so we hitch a ride on the back of a pickup truck. We're not the only ones racing west. Rebel fighters are moving up to the front line. And on the roadside, a reminder of the grim tally of dead and injured. Medics prepare to take the wounded back to Ras Lanuf.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
The columns of smoke loom ominously on the horizon. We move closer.
Well, it does appear to be some kind of an oil installation. And as we approach it, we can see that the bombers have hit it in 3 different points. And this closest point here, we can